Hello guys, welcome to the Blue and Garry Kasparov series. We have game number 2 now. Okay, so Gary in the previous game was actually very shocked and couldn't believe that he lost like that to Deep Blue. Deep Blue played amazingly and perfectly desperately in the previous game. So he tried to change, can't just change the move order, okay? So he couldn't just get his chance to just outplay the pro. Please, guys, like and comment on this video because this game is so fun and I'm sure that you will enjoy this. Okay, please like and comment. We have knight to f3. Gary tried to outplay Deep Blue, okay? So he played knight to f3. We have d5 from Deep Blue, d4. Gary played d4. We have e6, g3. Then you could have continued at c4, knight to f6. As you know, guys, now this this position will just range in this. Okay, but they didn't go for that. We have sorry, we have g3 from Gary, c5 from Nipolu, bishop to g2, fiancé to the bishop, and we have knight to c6, g asserts knight to f6, c4 hitting the center. And in one of the games with his opponent playing the wrong move, c takes on d4, which is bad. Let's see what happens after c takes d4, which is a bad move. Why this bad move c takes d5? If knight takes d5 is the best. But as after knight takes d4, we have knight takes d4. You are just letting Gary, okay, letting white just get advantage in the open very easily. Okay, so knight takes d4 is a bad decision there. We have bishop to d7, and here white uses a tactic knight to f5. Okay, so he is somehow getting in that dart score inactive. So bishop to e7 is not playable because of knight takes on g7. Okay, rook to c8, knight to e3 back. Yeah, if you just take, you just let white get advantage easily. But for example, after knight to f6, the game just continues, goes on. So Deep Blue played the best move, d takes on c4. We have knight to e5 from Garry, bishop to d7, knight to a3, attacking the pawn on c4. We have c takes on d4, knight takes on c4. We have bishop to c5. And here Deep Blue could just play bishop to e7. So let's see what happens after bishop to e7. Bishop to e7, we have bishop to f4, rook to c8, we have queen b3, knight to d5, queen b7, knight takes e5, knight takes e5, rook to c7, we have queen to a6, and the game goes on like this, okay? So, what actually happened in the game was something different, okay? So, bishop to e7 was not just played. We have bishop to c5, queen to b3, threatening to take the pawn on b7, okay? We have castles. But let's see what happens if you just try to defend it. If you try to defend it with rook b8, I just give the question to you. What is the problem with rook to b8, okay? Yes, actually, guys, I hope you just thought and got the answer right. We have bishop to f4. And And what happens after the move queen c8 is a good move, but trying to defend the pawn, but white eventually gets its pawn back, okay? But let's see how. Okay, after queen to c8, we have just bishop to f4, this position. And the white is kind of good after, for example, castles. We have rook to f to d1, a lot of pressure. If you play knight to d5, we just take on d7 and play knight to e5. If you just take, then it is already, we can just take this pawn and we already have the advantage. We just have this and love the bishop. Okay, so but deep rook and castle, no, not a bad move, good move. We have queen b7 from Garry. Could have played bishop to f4. Instead of queen to b7 takes b7, immediately could have played bishop to f4, developing the piece. After queen to c8, defending the pawn, we have rook to fd1. After rook to e8, rook to c1. After bishop to e8, we just take, and here. Now white is actually threatening to take the bishop with the rook. And if you move the bishop, then it just takes the pawn. Okay, so Black's only way to defend us is actually coming rook d5. But what happens after rook d5? We have queen to a4, hitting this pawn again. And we just take your pawn back. After bishop to b6, queen takes on c6, queen takes on c6, knight takes on c6. And we are already just threatening to go here. King to f8 maybe is a good move for black, and white has a straight edge in this position. Okay, so but Deeper didn't go queen to c8. After, for example, bishop f4 queen to c8 was not just played from Garry. Garry actually went for just taking the pawn on b7. We have queen takes b7, knight takes on e5, knight takes on e5, rook b8. We have just queen to f3 coming back, good move. Bishop d6, a logical move, and actually White's idea is actually to go bishop g5 here. Okay, for example, if you just let him play bishop to g5, b3, bishop maybe to g5, is just his idea to pressure this pawn. I'm sorry, to pressure this knight. Okay, so not pawn. We have just queen f3, bishop d6, logical move. Now to c6, why not? We just want to take opponent's bishop pair. Why not just play knight to c6 now? Bishop takes c6, queen to c6. We have e5. Rook to b1, and here Deep Blue should have tried the move h6, then going for his plan rook b6, queen to b8, okay? So what is the point of h6 is that it prevents the white bishop to just develop and just go on g5, treating this and getting active, okay? So bishop on c1 is so passive, and h6 could have just be good move for black. But he played Deeper played rook b6. We have queen to a4 and queen to b8. Pressure in this pawn and trying to just passive this bishop there. But Garry used the fact that I can use this weakness from Deep Blue's position now and play the move there, bishop to g5, okay? Bishop g5 using the fact that your knight on f6 is a little loosey and I can destroy your structure, okay? So what I mean by losing, just destroying the structure is that you just doubling the pawn, and if you double the pawn there, then all of the right squares will become big, and white can just infiltrate with his bishop and his just knight with this his queen. Okay, so bishop to e7 he played by the pro, but another best move is knight to d8. Okay, so knight to e8 actually aims not to a purpose and has two purposes. One of them is h6 to just chip the bishop away and just to play knight to f6 later. And one of them is just to take the pawn on b2 there. Okay, so one is this, one is to take on that. Okay, so bishop to e7 was just played here, and Garry used the fact and tempted the pro to go wrong here. Okay, so he played the move b4, and the pro couldn't just resist in this position and just played bishop takes on b4. We have surely bishop takes f6, and as I said, g takes f6. Now, this, sorry, are weak. So we have queen to d7. He wants to go queen to f5 here, and just here to, okay. So queen to f5 and bishop to e4 are the threats to just mate. We have the best defense from the pro, queen to c8. Okay, so for example, if you go knight h4 is also good, but you should play perfectly after bishop to f4, e4. We have king g7, but no, the pro himself just played the best move and nothing to actually ask about the pro inaccuracy. Okay, so we have queen to d7 and the pro played the best move, queen to c8. We have queen takes on a7. And here they made a mistake, and it was for the programmers. And trained the pro caused it to go wrong, and they implemented something like called bias in that. In these terms, bias is something you should avoid to do, okay? And they added this bias to just avoid the queen exchange for the pro because they thought that Garry is the best endgame player in the world, so the pro should have avoided this exchanging of queens there. So the best move here is rook to a6. We have queen b7, queen takes b7, bishop takes b7. We have queen to b, rook to b6, bishop to e4, and this position is a straight h4 is a straight h4 white, but I believe that this position could be a draw with the best player. Okay, let's go back. So what did Bro did wrong is did very bad here. He played the move rook to a6. Oh, sorry, rook to b8. We have queen a4 best move. Bishop to c3. Another terrible move, shocking move from the Bruce. Bishop to c3. And it was for that bias that was added for him to. It wanted to create something like outpost, but you should do it with the knight, not the bishop. It doesn't mean that any outpost with any pieces are the best, okay? So bishop c3 is wrong because it's a wrong outpost. So rook to b8, queen to b8, we have bishop to e4, queen to c7, queen to a6, king to g7, queen to d3, and here rook b3. rook b8, and a shocking blunder from Garry. Bishop takes on h7. Why? The h7 pawn was not a main protector, main something what you should call of Brad's position. So you must just look for something better, okay? The h7 pawn was not important for Brad. Maybe Gary's idea was actually just take this pawn and just push this pawn. So my h pawn will be just pass order. Okay, so for this reason he decided to take the h7 pawn to just let his pawn go and run to make the promotion and other threats for the brother. But it is bad because of rook to b2 and actually people played it. Now if you try to defend this pawn by a4, protect by a4, now rook comes to d2. After queen b2, queen b1, now rook takes on e2, and now this pawn is just stopped. You can't push it. So let's go back. Bishop to h7. Garry played the best move. Bishop to e4. Accepting his mistake. We have takes on a2. h4. If you just play h4, then queen to c8 is possible. Okay, so the best move here is queen f3. We have this, and actually h4 was played in that position. Okay, but let's see what is the best move. Queen to f3, rook a1, takes, g4, king f8, then queen to h5, and already in this position is already draw. Okay, so but we now have h4. After queen to c8, we have queen to f3, offering the exchange, and now queen penetrates, goes on h5. We have queen h8, check, king f8, and now some maneuvers by both sides. And here again the scenes of outpost is good. And here again big diplomat and other blunder in the game. Okay, plays queen to c8. We have queen to d5, best move from Garry. He could have continued to improve. His idea was, could have gone king to f8 actually twice. He wanted the proof actually main purpose could be just to stop the h pawn with his queen and his king. So this queen and king must stay on this rank, okay? So, but queen to c8 blunder, queen d5 best move from Garry, queen b5. Another idea could be queen b7, queen d7, queen to e4. In this push, bishop takes on d3, and white just winning this position. Okay, just win. But then queen b5, still winning, still winning. Queen d7, queen c5, queen to d6. We have queen to a7, queen d7, queen to a8, queen to c7, queen a8 recheck, queen to d6, and suddenly queen to h2. And you are just rooting this pawn on f7. We have f5, bishop takes on f7, e4, bishop to h5, queen to f6, queen to a3 check, king d7, queen check on a7, queen to d8, queen b8 check, we have queen g7, bishop check on e8, we have king to e7, bishop going back on b5, bishop d2, queen c7 check, king to f8, bishop to c4, we have bishop to c3, again thinking of outposts, okay? So for example, goes back and then goes back, goes back. Okay, thinking that outpost is good for it. Okay, king to g2, bishop to e1, we have king f1, bishop to c3, and now when Garry just played the move f4, it thought that it is completely winning, and he was completely right. After en passant, e takes on f3 en passant, we have e takes on f3, bishop to d2, f4, king to a8, queen to c8 check, king e7, we have queen to c5, king to d8, bishop to d3, and now in this position, Garry just wanted to exchange this queen. Okay, here just queen c6, queen check, here, just check. Okay, and now he was so successful to exchange the queens, and this position, the brilliance programmers resigned. So why? Because of these three passes. Okay, so incoming passers will eventually just promote the queen. And this is already brought by the bishop. So Brad cannot do anything to hold this position, and just the Blue resign. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and comment on this video. See you next time for another Deep Blue Garry Kasparov series videos. So I have nothing to say. Gary's choice was good, and it was somehow biased. That, as I said, bias just helped Garry to win the game, and he did use it very well. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Goodbye for now. Thanks. Please don't forget to like and comment. Okay, so see you next time.